So, ready to dive into one of the most infamous haunted house stories, I think, ever.
Oh, yeah. The Amityville Horror, right?
Amityville. It's like seeped into pop culture, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, even if you're not into paranormal stuff, you've heard of Amityville.
Oh, for sure. And it's that blend of true crime and paranormal that, like, really gets people hooked, you know?
Yeah.
You've got a horrific family massacre, then the next family that moves in, they're saying it's demonic activity. I mean, come on.
Right. Chills. Right.
Chills.
So you've given me a huge stack of sources on this, which I appreciate. And we've got news articles, documentaries. There's even a blog post in here, whole blog post debunking the whole thing.
Yeah, gotta love a skeptics. Always good to have those. Keeps us honest.
Keeps us honest. But that website article you sent, wow, packed with details about what the Lutzes claimed happened in the house.
Oh, yeah, that website. They went all in.
Okay, so before we get to the haunting, let's set the stage. Amityville, Long Island. Sounds nice, right? Peaceful? Not exactly where you'd think a horror story would unfold?
I mean, right. You picture idyllic little towns like, you know.
Yeah, like a Norman Rockwell painting.
Exactly, exactly. But you'd be surprised how often darkness lurks in those seemingly peaceful places.
So true. And in this case, the horror starts with the DeFeo murders in 1974. So we've got Ronald DeFeo Jr. He murders his entire family, 6 people, in their beds while they slept.
Brutal. Just brutal.
And you know what always got me about that case? None of the neighbors heard gunshots.
Yeah, how is that even possible? 6 people shot and nobody hears anything.
It's like something was silencing those shots. Or maybe something wanted those murders to happen quietly, you know?
Ooh, that's creepy. Yeah. It's like a, shh, we're helping you along.
Yeah. And even before the Lutzes moved in, people considered that house troubled. The housekeeper even said that Mrs. DeFeo had predicted a tragedy.
Oh, no.
And apparently, Mr. DeFeo Sr., he used to tell people he had a devil on his back.
Oh, my God.
I mean, is that foreshadowing?
No.
Or just a really creepy coincidence?
I don't know, but it definitely sets a creepy tone.
Yeah, like the house itself was already radiating bad vibes. And then you've got the Lutzes, right? Newlyweds, looking for their dream home. They find this Dutch colonial, 112 Ocean Avenue, boathouse, pool, the whole 9 yards.
They probably thought they'd hit the jackpot.
Oh, absolutely. Paradise found, right?
Right.
Until it wasn't. But from what I read on that website, it started small, little things, freezing cold spots, even with the furnace going full blast.
No, I hate that.
And then this constant smell of perfume, like it just wouldn't go away.
Oh, that's so weird. What kind of perfume?
They never really said, just that it was super strong, cloying almost. I mean, who needs an air freshener when you have like a phantom fragrance just wafting around?
You're right. Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Right.
Yeah. Little things start happening. You don't think much of it,
But then it gets worse. Because George Lutz starts waking up every single night at 4:50 a.m.
Wait a minute.
The exact time of the DeFeo murders.
No way.
Yeah. I don't care how skeptical you are. That's freaky.
I mean, you hear about that sometimes, like anniversaries of traumatic events, you know, people feeling, I don't know.
A presence.
Yeah, a presence. Like something's trying to like break through on those dates, you know?
Right, like the veil is thinner or something.
Exactly, like some kind of anniversary haunting.
And it wasn't just George. Kathy Lutz starts having nightmares. But they aren't just any nightmares. She's dreaming about the murders. And get this, she can describe the victim's wounds in detail.
Whoa, hold on, like details the police would know.
Details that the police confirmed were accurate.
That's not just a coincidence.
No, way beyond
Yeah,
coincidence.
that's scary. I've heard about stuff like that. Vivid, accurate visions. It's like, are they picking up on something that was there? Something that happened? I don't know.
Right, like the house is feeding them images or something?
Yeah, making them relive it. I don't know. I don't like it.
All right, so we've got a creepy old house, weird smells, freezing temperatures, disturbing visions. But it gets weirder. Things get really strange with the discovery of, wait for it, the Red Room.
The Red Room. What's the Red Room?
So picture this. A small hidden room in the basement, painted red. It just emanated this awful stench, this foul odor.
Oh, God.
Even their dog wouldn't go near it.
Okay, that's like straight out of a horror movie, right?
Oh, absolutely.
A secret room, some hidden evil space, all this negative energy. Oh, God, I'm picturing it now. Peeling red paint, darkness. I don't know what's lurking in it.
And you know what? You have to wonder, was this Red Room always evil? Or did the darkness of those DeFeo murders seep into it somehow, stain it?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And speaking of staining, that website mentions all these gross black stains that kept appearing in the house, right? Like something was marking its territory.
Black stains? What do you mean? Like what kind of stain?
They didn't really specify, just that they were nasty, like almost oily.
Uh-huh.
And they'd show up on the bathroom fixtures, the walls, everywhere. And no matter how much they scrubbed, they kept coming back.
Okay, that's unsettling, to say the least.
Unsettling. It's like something was trying to tell them, like, get out, this is my house now.
Okay, officially spooked.
Me too. And we haven't even gotten to Missy and Jody.
Oh yeah, the daughter, the imaginary friend.
So Missy starts talking about this imaginary friend named Jody, who's described as a pig-like demon that can change size and become invisible.
Wait, a demon pig? Like what?
I know, right? I mean, kids have imaginary friends, sure, but
Yeah.
this takes it to another level.
Yeah, that's like nightmare fuel.
Pure nightmare fuel. And what makes it
Great.
worse, Jody would say things to Missy like, you'll always live here. I mean, that's not exactly your average playtime conversation, right?
No, it's
Right.
like this thing was trying to like claim them, bind them to the house or something. Oh God, that's just
And, you know, it seems to confirm that Jody wasn't so imaginary after all. They found cloven hoof prints in the snow outside the house.
okay. I would be out of there. Hoof prints. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh, that's so creepy.
All right, we got to take a break. We've covered the DeFeo murders, the creepy history of the house, and some seriously unsettling events that the Lutzes experienced.
And we're not even done yet.
Oh, we're just getting started. This deep dive is about to get even deeper.
I can't wait. So, I mean, you're probably wondering, like, what could be worse than demon pigs and mystery stains?
Oh yeah, definitely wondering that.
Well, how about, like, the house actually fighting back against them?
Okay, now you have my full attention. Fighting back. What do you mean?
Okay, so according to the website, they tried everything. Like, they opened all the windows, they're airing out the bad vibes, they're saying prayers in every room, you know?
Makes sense, right?
Right. But it just made things worse.
Oh no, worse how? Did the demon pig like start quoting scripture?
Not quite. They started hearing voices. Voices. Like what? Disembodied voices?
Yeah, like a whole chorus of them telling them to stop praying, telling them to get out. I mean, can you imagine?
Okay, that's one way to get rid of unwanted house guests, I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, how do you know if you're really hearing voices or if, you know, it's just the stress of the situation getting to you?
Right, right. But they also said they were seeing stuff too. Doors slamming shut on their own, objects moving, even levitating.
Hold on, levitating. Are we talking like full-on exorcist stuff here?
That's what they said. It was like the house was alive and it was pissed.
Okay, yeah, I get what you mean by fighting back now. But if it was that bad, why not just like leave? Get out of there.
Easy to say, right?
Right.
But put yourself in their shoes for a second. They just bought this dream home. I mean, they invested everything. And then there's the fear. What if this evil, whatever it is, follows them?
Right. Right. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. You're trapped. But eventually it all became too much, you know? They fled after only 28 days in the house.
28 days. 28 days. And get this, they left everything behind. Everything. Furniture, clothes, personal items. I mean, can you imagine just walking away from all your stuff?
Yeah, that must have been absolutely terrifying.
Oh, totally. Like, what happened that last night? What made them just snap and run?
Right. Did something happen?
Yeah.
Or was it just like a buildup of all this weirdness, you know?
Well, the thing is, they never revealed exactly what happened that last night, just that it was too terrifying to even talk about.
Ooh, okay, so we have a mystery. That's even creepier. I mean, it leaves it up to your imagination, right?
Yeah.
Like, what could be so bad that you can't even speak about it? Makes you wonder.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of what keeps the Amityville horror alive, right? All these unanswered questions. It plays on our fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the dark, the fear of losing control. You know?
Like a horror movie, but in real life.
Exactly. But so they flee the house, they leave everything behind. What happens next? Does this evil follow them?
I mean, that's what I want to know.
Right.
You run from a haunted house, do you outrun the haunting?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Because, see, we're moving out of the shadows of 112 Ocean Avenue and into the spotlight.
Ooh, here comes the media circus.
Dun, dun, dun. Right? The Lutz's story blew up. Interviews, a book deal. I mean, you know the rest, right? Amityville, the book, the movie. It's a whole phenomenon.
Not everyone bought it, right. That's where William Weber comes in, Ronald DeFeo Jr.'s lawyer.
Yeah, what about him?
He claims the whole haunting was a hoax.
A hoax.
A hoax. He even said that he helped the Lutzes fabricate the story over, and I quote, several bottles of wine.
Wait, really?
That's what he said.
I mean, I guess I could see how that could happen, right? A few bottles of wine, you're feeling loose, you get to
And
talking.
the story just grows and grows.
Yeah, exactly. But why would he do that? Was he trying to, I don't know, protect his client? I mean, if there was no haunting, then his client, the murderer, was just a cold-blooded killer, right? No
Yeah.
demonic influence or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. But maybe he was just trying to, cash in on the Amityville craze, too.
Oh, for sure. Everyone wanted a piece of that pie. It was huge.
So what do you think? Hoax or genuine haunting?
It's tough to say. There's evidence on both sides, So some point to inconsistencies in the Lutz's story, things that don't quite add up. But others, they believe the Lutzes. They think they were really traumatized, even if, maybe they embellished some details. It's like, how do you separate the truth from the legend?
Right. It's all so tangled up. And I mean, think about it. Even if there was no actual ghost, no demon pig living in that house with the weight of those murders, I mean, that would mess with anyone.
Oh, absolutely. The power of suggestion is a real thing.
Right, right. You start thinking a place is haunted, you can see ghosts around every corner.
Exactly. So we've got the Lutzes saying they were haunted, Weber claiming it was a lie, and then you've got everyone else debating, trying to figure out the truth.
Yeah, it's like a real-life Scooby-Doo episode, but way creepier. And speaking of creepy, there's one more person we haven't talked about. Danny Lutz, Kathy's son from a previous marriage.
Oh, yeah. He was just a kid when they lived there, right?
Yeah. I mean, that poor kid.
And as an adult, he's talked about his experiences in the house. And it's pretty disturbing. He claims he was tormented by these, dark entities. They followed him. They whispered threats. He even said they attacked him.
Oh, my God.
I know, right? Whether the haunting was real or not, the impact on Danny, it was real.
Right. The trauma. I mean, that's what makes this story so compelling, I think.
Yeah.
It's about more than just, ghosts and demons, It's about the darkness that can exist within a family. Within ourselves, even. It's about the things that haunt us, whether they're real or not.
Yeah. It makes you think, what's more terrifying? The idea of an evil spirit, possessing a house. Or the potential for darkness and trauma within a family, even without the supernatural element.
Ooh, that's a good question. And it's something to think about as we continue this deep dive.
So you want to dig into some more of those creepy details, those inconsistencies you mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. Bring on the creepiness. All right, so let's put on our paranormal investigator hats for a minute.
Yeah.
All right. We've talked about the skeptical side of things. But what about those who, believe in hauntings? What about the stuff on that website that it screams paranormal?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely some stuff in there that if you look at it through that lens, it gets pretty interesting. Let's start with the house itself, right? Some people believe that certain places, they can hold on to negative energy, like a residue from traumatic events.
So you're saying the brutality of those DeFeo murders could stain the house somehow, psychically,
Right.
I mean?
Like a stain on reality itself? I don't know. And some paranormal theories, they say that this energy, it can attract, even create, bad entities.
Okay, but wouldn't that mean every house where something bad happened would be haunted?
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily. The thinking is that some places, they're just more susceptible, It could be the emotional intensity of the event. It could be Carolee lines, those energy pathways in the earth. Or even just the way the building is designed, the architecture.
So you're saying 112 Ocean Avenue, with its history, maybe some weird energy lines running through it, it was like a perfect setup for a haunting.
Could be. And then you've got the Lutzes themselves, right? They were into transcendental meditation before they moved in. Some people think that kind of stuff, it can open you up spiritually, make you more vulnerable to, whatever's out there.
It's like they unlocked a door they shouldn't have, right?
Yeah, maybe.
And speaking of unlocking things, let's go back to some of the things they actually experienced, like the perfume smell. That website, they talk about this recurring perfume smell. And it's not theirs, right? That's creepy.
Yeah, unexplained smells, that's classic haunting stuff. Some people think it's a way for spirits to communicate.
But why perfume? Why not I don't know, the smell of sulfur or something?
I don't know, maybe they're just trying to be subtle.
Or maybe ghosts just have good taste.
Maybe, I don't know. But they said it was this really strong, sweet floral scent, and it was strongest in the sewing room, the same room where Father Pecoraro, the priest who tried to bless the house, he had that bad experience.
Wait, what happened to the priest?
Oh, he said he felt this unseen force attack him, physically shove him.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting chills now. What about the temperature stuff? They talk about cold spots, like freezing cold spots, even with the heat on.
Yeah, cold spots. Those are a big one, too. A lot of people think it's like a drop in energy,
Yeah.
caused by a spirit, like a psychic drain or something.
That's freaky.
It is freaky. And then there were those black stains, remember? That kept coming back no matter what they did.
Yeah, the black stains, like something was trying to, like, mark their territory.
Right. It's like you scrub and scrub, but it just comes back.
Yeah.
Some investigators say it's a way for entities to, like, show they're there, like, mess with you a little.
Like a demonic version of leaving dirty dishes in the sink.
Maybe. But the point is, they're trying to disrupt things, make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, if I found mystery stains all over my house, I'd be out of there.
Hmm.
What about the flies? Remember they talked about swarms of flies in the middle of winter?
Ugh. Yeah, that's not right. Flies, they're, like, associated with decay, death, right? So in a house where something that awful happened, it just adds to the creepiness.
Yeah, it's like something out of, like, the Old Testament, a plague of flies, only instead of locusts, it's
Demon flies.
demon flies, exactly. Okay, so we've got the unexplained sense, the freezing temperatures, the stains, the flies, the demon pig, and a house that just seems to hate its occupants. Like, it's like the Lutzes stepped into, like, a paranormal pressure cooker or something.
It really does seem that way. And whether you believe them or not, I mean, the details, they're creepy, right? They tap into, like, our deepest fears, the stuff we don't understand, the darkness that might be, like, right there, but we just can't see it.
Right, lurking just beneath the surface. So what do you think? If you were in the Lutz's shoes, would you stay? Would you fight? Or would you, cut your losses and run?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I mean, I'd like to think I'm a brave person, but
Mm.
I don't know. I think a lot of it depends on what you believe,
Yeah.
your personality, maybe even a little bit of luck. But the Amityville Horror, it's like a reminder, right, that sometimes the scariest things, they're not the things that go bump in the night. It's the darkness inside us. And the mysteries we'll never solve.
Yeah. And for anyone listening who wants to, do their own deep dive into this, there's so much out there. Books, documentaries, websites. I mean, the house is even still standing. Though they gave it a new address, maybe to try and shake off some of the bad vibes. Who knows?
So yeah, check it out. Do some research. See what you think.
The Amityville Horror, it keeps fascinating people, scaring people, because it reminds us that sometimes reality and nightmares, they can get pretty blurry. Well said. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the Amityville Horror. Thanks for coming along with us as we explored one of America's most infamous haunted house cases. And until next time, keep those lights on and sleep tight if you can.